big backcountry rides. We've been all about them lately. This past summer, we've hit a few more trails that have taken us further off the beaten path. So, when we hit the road from Colorado on our journey to the Pacific Northwest, we knew we need to seek out at least one high alpine epic. So, we booked ourselves a shuttle for the A.T.C.A, one of Oregon's more famous backcountry bike adventures. And if this super flowy and scenic footage hasn't convinced you yet, take my word for it and put this ride on your list, because this trail rips.
See the way the light filters through these trees? It's so sick.
If you hadn't heard of the A.T.C.A, not to worry, neither had we. It stands for Alpine, Tire, Clover Patch, Alpine, the name of the linked trails that, when put together, make up this 26-mile ride that includes 7,000 feet of descent. And those stats are nothing to scoff at. Hearing that a trail has 7,000 feet of descending lets me know that I should prepare for a serious ride. But the thing is, these trails lack the big rock gardens and root balls that we had come to expect from the Pacific Northwest. And so these fast and flowy trails made this ride a bit more forgiving.
Check out this tree. Whoa! Oh man, that was funny.
Well, the downhills might have been a bit more forgiving. The uphill, on the other hand, was a different story. And for a shuttle ride, this network has plenty of it. Nearly 3,700 feet according to my Strava account.
This is so pretty. Out of the woods and into that view. Dang. It's just such an incredibly pretty section of trail. I know it's uphill, but man, these giant trees.
Unlike most other trails we sampled on our trip, this ride was smooth sailing. Smooth single track begged for speed, and it was easy to pick up lots of it. But still, I couldn't help but feel like I was holding back a little, applying a little more pressure to my brakes than I should have. What might not come across in this video due to the GoPro effect is just how steeply the hillside falls away from this narrow trail. I'm serious, that kind of thing makes me nervous.
Oh man, this hillside is steep off to the side.
While it may not look like a sheer cliff, a high-speed tumble would send you deep into this tangle of downed trees. And speaking of downed trees, I felt like at any moment, one might jump out from behind these ferns, right at the perfect height to smash an ankle or a wheel and send me careening. But if you can block those thoughts from your mind, then you'll have no reason not to mock at ridiculous speeds out here. The only other reason you might want to slow down a moment is to look around.
Yeah, it's way pretty in here.
The giant red trees contrasted against the endless green clover patches are nothing short of magical.
Ooh, look at that.
It's scenes like this that we venture into the backcountry for.
Look at these big trees, so cool.
To get away from it all, way out here where we can feel like it's just us, our bikes, and nature.
Oh, happy little bridge. Ooh, not so happy. Little bridge.
The Pacific Northwest had a beauty that I find difficult to describe. It spoke to that kid in me, who would spend hours drawing dinosaurs, roaming amongst massive ferns and towering trees. This place felt ancient and alive, and it made me feel alive.
Whoa, tight.
I think the beauty of this place is what really stuck with me and made this such a special experience. If I'm being honest, I prefer my single track to be a bit rowdier than what the A.T.C.A. has to offer.
What's up, Bernie? Oh, you are hanging out.
I prefer when a trail cuts down through the rocks and the roots, rather than traverse the hillside. But I was happy to sacrifice the gnar for a long day in the backcountry. 26 miles, 3,700 feet of climbing, and 7,000 feet of descending are stats to be proud of. That's a day of really living. But if those numbers seem too intimidating, not to worry. By bypassing the optional Tire Mountain and Clover Patch loop and sticking to Alpine, you can save yourself about a couple thousand feet of climbing. But then again, you'll also miss out on all this additional downhill through this ever-changing landscape.
Pretty.
Maybe this video has convinced you to consider this ride. Maybe the beauty and flow look to be exactly what you were hoping for in your next adventure. Or maybe the lack of roots and loam meant this isn't the quintessential PNW trail experience you were looking for. That's the thing about biking. It's such a personal experience. For us, this was the perfect way to wrap up our trip to the Pacific Northwest. Loads of flowy downhill, massive trees, soft forest floor, all the elements to remind us that there's lots of biking to be had outside of Colorado. And while we absolutely love where we live, we have an insatiable itch to travel to and bike in as many unique places as possible. So, hit that like button and subscribe if you're interested in coming along with us.
This is sick, though.
For now, we head back to Colorado and Utah for some classic fall riding.
Can I get a drive-by?
Help us buy a van.
Yeah, help us buy a van.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and we'll buy a van, and we'll come back. Just like down there and subscribe somewhere. Do it. I dare you.